Shall we go down the rabbit hole? Okay, so today I'm talking about are we related to pigs? Do we come from pigs? I do have to state that this content to appease our overlord AI algorithm and AI checks is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. So do we derive from pigs? Oh, I'm not talking about evolution here. I'm talking about genetic splicing. Okay, so this is going down the kind of theory that we have been created by the Anunnaki. Now, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, please go to the playlist. I think it's in the Spirituality 101 playlist as opposed to the Down the Rabbit Hole one. So have a search through. There's loads of different content on there. So in Anunnaki terms, we were created, by this alien race, if you want to call it that. It was in the book of Enoch they talked about Enkin and Lil, and it's been removed. Okay, the Nephilim giant's been removed because it doesn't appease the Abrahamic religions, which, in my opinion, are just all about control. So this kind of came to me the other week, and it was when I was talking about the cats. Right, so and these are facts, couple of facts here. All right. The domestic cat, which was worshipped in ancient Egypt, is the only feline that has slit eyes, it's not round ones, and hisses, much like a snake. Now, if the Anunnaki created us through genetic splicing, then the chances are cats are as well. I'm going to come to that moaning in a minute. Just stop and think about it. Why is it that the domestic cat has snake eyes and hisses, yet no other cat does? And you'll say, oh, it's evolution. Is it? Is it? Now, if the domestic cat was genetically spliced, it would have been done by an entity parading as a god called Sekhmet. There's also Basset, who's it's not believed if we don't know if that was actually the same being or if it was a separate being, but it would have been created by Sekhmet energy. Now, believe me, don't believe me, I don't care. In my life, I have had two people who have attempted to take me down who work with Sekhmet energy. I work with Shiva energy. Now, when I got evicted from my last house and I came here, at the time I had 4 cats. So I had my boy, Charlie, who's now sadly not with us, and then my late wife's 3 cats, Sora, who's male, and then Coda and Sky, who I still have. Sora sadly had to go to one of Heather's siblings. Why? Because he started, for no apparent reason, crying, scratching at the door, waking me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, all times of the morning, affecting my work, affecting my lives, affecting my content, affecting my life. By crying, I'd get up to see what was wrong, and he'd walk away. He'd run away. Now, I'm sure there's lots of people out there who say, oh, how cruel, I'm sure there was something wrong with him. There was nothing wrong with him at all. At all. Now, I got to breaking point with him, and I said to Heather's family, I said, look, I've got to get rid of it. I can't take it anymore. He's driving me absolutely nuts. You think about this, right? You work from home, and you're being woken up in the early hours of the morning. You're having your work disturbed because there's a cat who screams and yells and shouts, and then as soon as you go to see what's wrong with them, they run away. It's really irritating. So think of me as a bad person if you wish. I don't care. Now, why am I telling this story? Literally the day that he went to his new home, Coda started. exact same behavior. Now, she's not quite as bad. She doesn't wake me up in the early hours. Now, I will quite happily admit that that poor little cat has had to deal with a lot of loss in her life and a lot of change. But I give her everything that I possibly can do. Now, my belief, and it is just my belief, is because domestic cats were created eons ago by a false idol called Sekhmet, that energy stream can control cats. So, if you again, I've done content on energy streams and deities and the energy streams linked to those. So I believe that they have been genetically spliced and were created by Sekhmet, and hence why the Egyptians worship them, because they are a creation of theirs. Now, let's talk about human beings. So with human beings, the evolution theory is that we evolved from primates, monkeys. Now, that's great, but then you've got the missing link thing, haven't you? Now, in the kind of Anunnaki story of creation, we have been spliced with an Anunnaki genetics, DNA. Okay. Now, the assumption is that that came from some kind of humanoid that would have been here prior, before the arrival of the Anunnaki. However, why is it that we are so closely linked to pigs, right? You look in a pig's eye and it looks human. If I took a photo now of a pig's eye and a monkey's eye, and I didn't tell you, and I said, right, which one's human? You'd choose the pig. Why is it that you can put a pig's heart in a human being, but not a monkey? Why is it that they say when somebody is burnt, it smells like bacon? Why is it that certain religions, such as Islam, say don't eat pork? Is it possible that we were genetically spliced with pigs? Because you think about it, right? A pig is far easier to control than a monkey is. Just a thought that I've been working with of late. Is it possible? What do you think? Because I'm starting to think that that's what we've been spliced with. Pigs. Let's face it, pigs are extremely intelligent animals as well. They're easy to herd. They're easy to control. But they are also extremely intelligent. So are we being controlled by the Anunnaki still? Are we descendants of pigs? Are we genetic mutation? Now, most people will say, no, don't be ridiculous, because they'll go down this evolution theory, because that's what you've been told. Just stop and think about that for a second. Why is it that we have, like I say, you can put pig's heart in a human being. You can do valve replacement with pigs. Why is it we smell like pigs when we burn? Why is it that our eyes look like pigs? Just stop and think about it. What are your thoughts? Like I said, this is just for entertainment purposes. This is just a theory. I like to come up with these theories that drop into my head. Drop a comment. What are your thoughts? Ta-ta.